Okay, if you're watching this video, that means that you already read your book, pages 130 to 132. Now, if you have any questions, we can still go over here. Like in this one, it says, write each number as a fraction. The first one we see is a mixed number. Now, whenever we have a mixed number, we know that the first thing that we have to do is we multiply the whole number that we have here, the whole number, we multiply it with the denominator. What does that do? Well, it will give us something like 3 times 5, and then that answer we add it to 2. So we're going to have 3 times 5 is our first thing. That gives us 15. Now that answer that we got there, we're going to add the 2 that we have in the numerator of a fraction. So we're going to do 15 plus 2, and that is going to give us 17. Now that answer that we got, we're going to put it all over the same denominator that we had at the beginning of the mixed number. So our answer is 3 and 2/5 is the same as 17 over 5. And that is how we converted our mixed number into an improper fraction. Now here, in the letter B, we have -7. -7 is an integer. But if you know all integers and whole numbers are fractions, why? Well, we can simply transform this into a fraction by dividing by 1. So if we have -7 over 1, that is already a fraction. Or, furthermore, if you wanted to, we could have transformed it into -14 over 2, which is, again, a fraction. Remember, the fractions are just a different representation of a division. So -14 divided by 2 is -7. Now, when we're doing letter C, you should know that this decimal, if you can name it, as you'll see in the later examples, if you can actually name this decimal, you can actually write it as a fraction. Now, if you remember from 5th grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade, where when you saw naming decimals for the first time, this is actually 14 hundredths. Yes? If you wrote it, it's 14 hundredths, which is, as a fraction, nothing more than 14 over 100. But we cannot write fractions and leave it like that if we can simplify them. And of course, we can simplify this, and this is just 7 over 50. Remember that now, because we learned how to simplify fractions, we can and we will have to write all the fractions in simplest form.